minority urges Education Secretary to address delayed school repairs. Minority councillor slams THA over delayed supplier payments. Prime Minister Prasad Biseswar reports a reduction in crime, and the Tobago Indigenous People member talks AI and heritage preservation. Good evening, I am Natalia Nancis. Welcome to the Tobago Updates television news for Tuesday, 12th August 2025. To our top story. With just 3 weeks remaining before the July-August school vacation is over, not a single repair project has been initiated at Tobago schools. This according to Minority Leader Kelvon Morris, who expressed concerns due to absence of contractors who have yet been assigned to carry out the necessary works, raising fears that students and teachers may return to schools still plagued by long-standing infrastructural issues. Alia Balgobin has the details.
Minority Leader Kelvon Morris stressed the importance of ensuring that every child is equipped with essential supplies to start the school year confidently and without added stress on their families.
Because we probably have a family member, or you probably have a friend, or you probably just would have encountered a situation where there's a family in Tobago that is struggling at this time to be able to properly equip their children with back-to-school items.
Morris is urging to offer support, whether through the provision of school supplies, financial aid, or other practical measures to ease this burden.
I know families at this time, not just in Tobago, but across the country, are in fact feeling the pinch. And this is why today I have written to the Chief Secretary for his Executive Council to consider a back-to-school grant for across the board for every family that has students or children of school age within their household.
He suggested that the grant be funded from the budgetary allocation for the district's fund, redirecting these resources to assist those most in need. He believes that utilizing the district's fund in this way would provide timely and targeted support to families struggling to afford essential school supplies. This is Aliyah Balgobin reporting for Tobago Updates Television News.
Our attempts to get a comment from heads of the Division of Education, Research and Technology proved futile. With the THA receiving its largest budget allocations in history, the minority is questioning whether those funds are being managed effectively. Minority Councillor Petal Daniel Benoit slammed the THA for delayed payments to suppliers and service providers. Here's more from reporter Kimberly Mitchell.
This minority briefing, Minority Councillor Petal Daniel Benoit stated that while the THA has received a record high financial allocation, record delays in payments have led to significant hardship for Tobagonians.
We have had, or the Tobago House of Assembly rather, has had record high allocations. However, we have also had record delays in payments, resulting in record hardships to Tobagonians, and we hear the complaints daily.
She criticized the current administration for its failure to make timely payments to suppliers and service providers.
Small businesses who are trying to survive, but this administration has been placing them in hardship. This administration is breaking the backs of our small businesses in Tobago by not paying them in a timely manner. And when the THA delays payments, it is food off the tables for families in Tobago. And I want Tobagonians to understand that although we have record high allocations, money in the budget means nothing if it never reaches the people.
Daniel Benoit called on Chief Secretary Fali Augustine and his Executive Council to promptly settle all outstanding debts to small businesses, cultural stakeholders and transport operators. She also demanded a public report detailing how the THA spent over $10 billion it received between 2022 and 2025.
The minority is therefore calling on the Chief Secretary and the Executive Council of the Tobago House of Assembly to immediately settle all outstanding debts to small and micro service providers, to our cultural stakeholders, to our transport operators and our workers. And we are also calling the THA to report publicly on the over $10 billion of allocation that it has received between 2022 to 2025. Report to the public how you have spent our hard-earned taxpayers' dollars.
I'm Kimberly Mitchell, reporting for Tobago Updates Television News.
Trinidad and Tobago, a nation long plagued by one of the highest violent crime rates in the Caribbean. The new government is claiming a major victory in its first 100 days. Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar says the controversial state of emergency has led to a dramatic drop in murders. But critics are asking if this newfound security measure comes at too high a price. We have this report from Jewel Green-George.
Just over 3 months into its new term, Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar's government is tackling the nation's security crisis head-on. Facing a homicide rate that ranked among the highest in Latin America and the Caribbean, her administration implemented a state of emergency, giving security forces sweeping powers of detention. The Prime Minister says it was a necessary measure.
It is designed to hunt down and take out the criminals from harming you. That's what it's about. There was a real threat. A state of emergency.
The government's primary metric for success? A sharp decline in the murder rate. Official police statistics are pending, but the Prime Minister, citing the latest data, presented a figure she says is undeniable proof the strategy is working.
Today, just about 100 days in office, the murder rate is down by 34%. These are the facts. Facts do not lie.
However, the crackdown has raised concerns among human rights advocates about the suspension of civil liberties. In response, the Prime Minister argues that the rights of the law-abiding majority must take precedence over those of the criminal minority.
You'll hear about the trampling of rights as we work to remove the criminal elements. Then what about your rights? What about the fundamental rights of law-abiding citizens of Trinidad and Tobago?
The government insists the state of emergency is a short-term tool to break the back of organized crime. But with the social and economic roots of crime still deeply embedded, the key question remains whether this peace can be sustained once the emergency measures are lifted. For now, many citizens are simply welcoming the relative quiet on their streets. Jewel Green-George for Tobago Updates Television News.
On International Youth Day 2025, Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar affirmed her government's commitment to empowering young people in Trinidad and Tobago. In a message marking the occasion, she emphasized that the Twin Island nation is joining the global community in celebrating youth as agents of change. The Prime Minister's message outlined a series of youth-focused policies, including raising the legal age for alcohol consumption to 21 and for gambling and marijuana use to 25, a move she stated demonstrates a commitment to the health and future of young citizens. Looking ahead, the government's youth policies will focus on major investments in technical and vocational education training and digital skills. The plan also includes expanded support for youth entrepreneurship and civic engagement, as well as a broader access to mentorship and financing. Persad-Bissessar urged young people to channel their energy and ideas into their communities and called upon civil society and the private sector to ensure these youth voices are heard and talents are nurtured. We'll take a break and come back with more. Stay tuned.
This August, you have no excuse. A night of passion, power, and purpose.
The Rhythmic Vibrations and Rhythm Babes Performing Arts Company presents No Excuse. Join us on Tuesday, 12th of August at the Shaw Park Complex at 6 p.m. for a night of dance, drama, and song.
This is not just a show. It's a movement, a message, a moment.
Tickets are only $125 for adults and $75 for children. You don't want to miss this.
What's your excuse?
No excuse.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
Courts is well known as the Caribbean's largest retailer, providing consumers for generations with the very best products to enhance their homes. This year, we bring our expertise to businesses. Courts Business Solutions will serve small, medium, and large companies with the very best products at the most competitive prices, backed by warranties and after-sales support. Hoteliers, office managers, restaurants, and so many more. Courts Business Solutions, a brand of the Unicomer Group.
Hello, New York! Are you ready to celebrate the essence of Crusoe Land and the culture of Tobago? Well, get ready for Tobago Day in New York City, hosted by the Tobago Empowerment and Alliance Mission, Sunday, August 17th, 2025, Nazareth High School Courtyard, 475 East 57th Street, Brooklyn, New York, 12 noon to 8 p.m. We bring the Tobago vibes to the Big Apple. Live music, Tobago food, cultural performances, and family fun. So bring Tanty, Granny, the uncle, invite the whole neighborhood. Just bring everybody and bring your significant other too. Come celebrate Tobago Day in New York City, Sunday, August 17th, Nazareth High School Courtyard. But hey, I forget to tell all you, it's we 10th anniversary celebration. For more information, call 929-327-7857 or check Team's Facebook and Instagram pages, Team Tobago Day.
Skibidi bang bang, yours truly be representing for Neon, a tribal affair by Highlighter Entertainment. We are here.
Tobago, are you ready? Highlighter Entertainment's Neon, a Tribal Affair. Costume sales are live. Register now at highlighterentertainment.com. This is Carnival meets culture. Rhythm meets rebellion. Neon is calling. And your moment is now. Light up the night.
I jamming on the pavement with Neon. On the pavement with Red Woman. If you come to rub and shoot.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, where innovation meets excellence and service reigns supreme. Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces. At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style. Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business. Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products. It's about relationships, it's about you. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
Welcome back. Just over 100 days into its term, the new government has made a monumental move to re-energize Trinidad and Tobago's dominant energy sector. Today, Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar announced a multi-billion-dollar deal with oil giant ExxonMobil, aimed at unlocking vast, untapped resources deep off our nation's east coast. Reporter Jewel Green-George has the details.
After years of declining energy production and economic uncertainty, the government is making a massive bet on the future of oil and gas. On the 100th day of her administration, Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar announced a landmark agreement with ExxonMobil, marking the supermajor's significant return to exploration in TNT for the first time in over 2 decades. The deal opens up a new frontier in our nation's energy story.
Tomorrow, Tuesday, August 12th, 2025, we will sign a multi-billion-dollar agreement for ultra-deep-sea drilling in our territorial waters. That area has remained unexplored forever, and now they carry enormous potential for capturing hydrocarbon resources.
The agreement covers 7 ultra-deep water blocks known as UD1. This initial exploration phase carries $42.5 million price tag. If successful, the total investment could skyrocket to between 16 and 21 billion US dollars. The move is a strategic pivot to boost national reserves, create high-skilled jobs, and secure the country's economic future.
What this means for you is very simple. In the coming months, in the coming years, more decent jobs from exploration to services, from Point Lisas to the Southland, more reliable fuel and power.
This high-stakes venture comes as global pressure mounts to transition away from fossil fuels. However, the Prime Minister argues that for a nation with a competitive advantage in hydrocarbons, maximizing these resources is a non-negotiable path to prosperity.
But we down south of the southern hemisphere, we will exploit our hydrocarbons to benefit the people of Trinidad and Tobago. We have a real plan for the refinery, not just talk.
With the ink now drying on this historic deal, the government is sending a clear message to the world. After a period of economic slowdown, Trinidad and Tobago is once again open for big business, banking its future on the depths of the Atlantic. Jewel Green-George for Tobago Updates Television News.
The Ministry of Health has issued a media release in response to a recent opinion piece clarifying its commitment to improving Trinidad and Tobago's healthcare system. The ministry noted that annual reports, inclusive of 2011 through 2023, have been completed and submitted to Parliament, directly addressing claims that statistical reports were not being published. The 2024 annual report is currently being finalized for Cabinet consideration. The ministry also highlighted several initiatives spearheaded by Minister of Health Dr. Lakram Bodo over the past 3 months, including extended hours at select health centers and the commissioning of a committee to address surgical wait times. A review of the Chronic Disease Assistance Program, CDAP, was also initiated and has received Cabinet approval. The media release further stated that the ministry welcomes international medical missions, such as the recent visits by the U.S. Navy ship Comfort and Hands International, as supplementary to existing public healthcare services. Dr. Bodo acknowledged the challenges within the system, emphasizing that providing high-quality healthcare is a long-term goal, requiring strategic investment, collaboration, and innovation. The ministry said it remains committed to modernizing the healthcare system and ensuring all citizens have access to the care they need. You're watching Tobago Updates Television News. Join us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Tobago Updates. More news after this.
TNTech is pleased to advise that its Roxborough Service Center has reopened. Starting Monday, 10th March, customers can once more visit the Roxborough Administrative Building to pay TNTech bills, request new connections, and more. TNTech, powering the nation into the next generation.
Hello, New York! Are you ready to celebrate the essence of Crusoe land and the culture of Tobago? Well, get ready for Tobago Day in New York City, hosted by the Tobago Empowerment and Alliance Mission, Sunday, August 17, 2025, Nazareth High School Courtyard, 475 East 57th Street, Brooklyn, New York, 12 noon to 8 p.m. We bring the Tobago vibes to the Big Apple. Live music, Tobago food, cultural performances, and family fun. So bring Tanty, Granny, the uncle, invite the whole neighborhood. Just bring everybody and bring your significant other too. Come celebrate Tobago Day in New York City, Sunday, August 17th, Nazareth High School Courtyard. But I forget to tell all you, it's we 10th anniversary celebration. For more information, call 929-327-7857 or check Team's Facebook and Instagram pages, Team Tobago Day.
Welcome back. And in some feel-good news this evening, they are Tobago's youngest historians, and tonight they are champions. The results are in for the Tobago House of Assembly's Little Voices Big Heritage Verse Speaking Competition, a key event celebrating the 200th anniversary of the iconic legislature building. Reporter Jewel Green George has the details.
Captivating an online audience with over 13,000 views, 4-year-old Jai Trim Bartholomew of Ria's Preschool has claimed the top prize with his impressive historical account.
My name is Jai Trim Bartholomew. I go to Ria's Preschool. I am 4 years old and I am going to talk about the Tobago House of Assembly Legislature Building. The Tobago House of Assembly Legislature Building is in Scarborough in Tobago. The building was completed in the year 1825.
Securing second place with a dynamic performance is Kai Peterkin from Tiny Fantastics Learning Center, whose video earned nearly 4,000 views.
My name is Kai Peterkin. Drop your keys, but don't bow your knees. You need them to run into me right after I am the building that was completed in 1825. The great legislature.
And placing third is the charismatic Jabari Warwood of Pentecostal Light and Life Foundation Preschool.
My name is Jabari Warwood. I feel proud to speak today. This old house is 200 years old, like candles glowing in the sky. In 1825, the founders started a play for leaders with strong hands.
The competition challenged preschoolers to bring the building's rich history to life, with winners decided by public views. With nearly 20,000 combined views for the top 3 alone, the initiative proved that you're never too old to celebrate your heritage. Jewel Green George for Tobago Updates Television News.
On August 9th, the global community recognized the International Day of World Indigenous Peoples, a day to celebrate the rich cultures and contributions of indigenous communities globally. Here in Tobago, we're shining a light on how these communities are navigating the future, particularly with this year's theme, Indigenous Peoples and AI, Defending Rights, Shaping Futures. Reporter Jewel Green George has the story.
In the heart of Buku, one member of Tobago's indigenous community is grappling with a modern dilemma: how to leverage technology like artificial intelligence to preserve their heritage without compromising their identity. The theme for this year's International Day of the World's Indigenous Peoples is a timely one for Tobago's indigenous population, who are actively working to protect their cultural legacy in the digital age. We spoke with Mr. Winston Piera, an entrepreneur and respected member of the Buku community. He shared his thoughts on the potential of AI, but also expressed concerns about its responsible use, highlighting the importance of ensuring that any technology used to document their culture is done with their full consent and control.
AI can be used for its transformative potential in preserving Tobago's indigenous heritage and defending community rights. But there must be an overarching ethical framework and general community consent.
The conversation around AI and indigenous peoples is gaining global momentum. According to a 2023 report from the United Nations Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues, there are an estimated 476 million indigenous people living in 90 countries. Many of these communities face disproportionate challenges, including a lack of access to technology and digital literacy. This often puts them at a disadvantage when it comes to controlling their own narrative online. For Tobago, where indigenous history is a vital part of its identity, these challenges are particularly acute. Many are exploring how AI can assist with archiving oral histories and creating digital libraries of traditional knowledge. However, they are also acutely aware of the risks, such as the potential for AI algorithms to misinterpret or appropriate sacred stories and symbols. Mr. Pereira's message is clear. Technology, while powerful, must be a tool for empowerment, not exploitation.
Collaborative approaches with indigenous leaders ensures AI entails the respect component for cultural values while in turn empowering future generations.
The day serves as a powerful reminder that as technology advances, it's crucial to ensure that indigenous voices are at the forefront, shaping the future on their own terms. For Tobago Updates Television News, I'm Jewel Green George.
Port of Spain was filled with music and cultural pride yesterday as Pan Trinbago, in partnership with the Ministry of Culture and Community Development, staged its annual ancestral walk in celebration of the third official World Steel Pan Day. This year's observance carried the theme From Roots to Resonance, echoing across generations and nations, highlighting the steel pan's historical journey and its significance both locally and internationally. The day's activities began at 1 p.m. with vibrant street performances that created a festive atmosphere in the heart of the city. Music filled the air as pan players entertained crowds, setting the tone for an afternoon of celebration. At 5 p.m., the ancestral walk commenced, led by the Trinidad and Tobago Police Band. The procession moved through the capital to Woodford Square, serving as a symbolic tribute to the instrument's pioneers, whose resilience and creativity transformed a humble creation into a global cultural treasure. The celebrations concluded at Woodford Square from 6 p.m. with performances by renowned steel orchestras including BP Renegades, NGC Couva Joylanders, Nutrient Silver Stars, and many others. The weather report is up next.
Hello, New York! Are you ready to celebrate the essence of Crusoe land and the culture of Tobago? Well, get ready for Tobago Day in New York City, hosted by the Tobago Empowerment and Alliance Mission, Sunday, August 17, 2025, Nazareth High School Courtyard, 475 East 57th Street, Brooklyn, New York, 12 noon to 8 p.m. We bring the Tobago vibes to the Big Apple. Live music, Tobago food, cultural performances, and family fun. So bring Tanty, Granny, the uncle, invite the whole neighborhood. Just bring everybody and bring your significant other too. Come celebrate Tobago Day in New York City, Sunday, August 17th, Nazareth High School Courtyard. But hey, I forget to tell all you, it's we 10th anniversary celebration. For more information, call 929-327-7857 or check Team's Facebook and Instagram pages, Team Tobago Day.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. A significant plume of Saharan dust has settled over Tobago, drastically reducing air quality and prompting a health warning from the Trinidad and Tobago Met Office. According to the National Outdoor Air Quality Index, the Air Quality Index falls squarely in the high category, a sharp increase from the negligible levels experienced over the weekend. The Met Office forecasts conditions will persist, with concentrations peaking slightly tomorrow before beginning to improve to moderate levels from Thursday afternoon. These fine dust particles can pose a risk to human health, particularly for sensitive groups. Individuals with asthma, allergies, or other respiratory conditions, as well as children and the elderly, are strongly advised to limit outdoor exposure, stay hydrated, and have any necessary medication readily available. Now for a look at the weather update from the Trinidad and Tobago Met Office. Tonight is expected to be mostly fair despite the chance of a few isolated showers, mainly after midnight. You can expect nighttime temperatures of around 26 degrees Celsius. Tomorrow, predominantly sunny, slightly hazy, and at times breezy, despite the low chance of 1 or 2 passing showers. Fair night. Daytime temperatures are set to reach 32 degrees Celsius, with a nighttime low of about 25 degrees Celsius and a heat index of 37 degrees Celsius. Seas should be slight to moderate with waves near 1.5 meters in open waters and below 1 meter in sheltered areas. Sunrise is at 5:52 and sunset is at 6:22. And that's how we end this evening's newscast. Here's a recap of the headlines. THA Minority urges Education Secretary to address delayed school repairs. Minority Councillor slams THA over delayed supplier payments. Prime Minister Prasad Bisesa reports a reduction in crime. And the Tobago Indigenous People member talks AI and heritage preservation. I'm Natalia Nancis. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great night.